Good morning. A lot of people ask me to say something about thyroid disease. I have a lot of knowledge about this disease. I have managed to heal people from various diseases associated with the thyroid. I would like pass knowledge about this disease so that people understand why this is happening. The number of patients with thyroid disorders don't understand why this is happening. I will try to give you answer. And I think you will be surprised by what's happening and why this is happening. What is the problem? Everyone who gets diagnosis thinks that there is a problem with this organ. I think differently, and I know it from my practice. Let us think together. What is the thyroid and why it is? Basically, it is an organ that produces hormones. Hormones are produced not to keep them in the body all the time. Their production is regulated by the whole organism. Man interferes this process and begins to administrate artificial hormones agents. There is no thing that is 100% the same as the one that the body will produce. You cannot give the same dose that your body needs exactly to get these hormones. What are hormones? They are invisible and the body should produce themselves. Theoretically and practically, it should only be produced by the body. I will give you one example of how it works. For example, a man drives a car. He drives the car and everything looks good. But suddenly, something is going to happen on the road. The man drove quietly with his car, but suddenly saw that something dangerous was happening. And if he did not stop his car, an accident would happen. It can then damage the car or even lose his life. What do you think is happening in the body? The man is trying to stop the car, but no one understands what caused the man to start braking the car. When a person is a witness to such a situation, when an accident may happen, the man stops the car out of fear. Fear is one of the human feelings. And it causes the production of adrenaline. Adrenaline is produced in the body in less than 1 second. In 100th of the second. Try to understand it. The body has produced adrenaline. Adrenaline increases energy. Information passes from the brain through the spinal cord to the muscle. goes to the joints and bones. And very quickly adrenaline managed to break in process of the vehicle. Try to understand it. The adrenaline was produced so quickly. If you take any artificial hormones, how will they react in the body? Artificial hormones disable the functions of producing these hormones by the body. Why people give hormones that affect whole body? Why a person under the influence of alcohol or drugs cannot drive a car? Because the hormones are not produced in this person, and adrenaline will not be produced in a short time. Because all the process in the body is slowed down. Because under the influence of alcohol, hormones also work in this way. What is the thyroid problem? From the very beginning. Thyroid diseases most often have women. Only 10% of men have thyroid problems like women. Most of them are women. Do you think why? You will be surprised at what I tell you. But everything starts with the thing that the women use to not get pregnant. Now the tablets are used, which are served to the children at school. Teenagers start to have sex at a young age, so to protect them from pregnancy, they give them hormones. Everyone can read in the book of medicine that hormones are related to the hormonal cycle of women. If women take hormones that react with the hormonal cycle, so that they do not get pregnant, in the first place, the hormonal system that managing hormones produced in the body will change. Also, thyroid gland. So the first problem associated with the hormones produced in the body and thyroid gland, produced too little or too many hormones, is caused by dysregulation of hormone production. The second serious problem these days is inflammation. To cure many inflammation and infections in the body are often used antibiotics that also harm the thyroid gland. We do not let it function normally. The thyroid must first deal with everything we use against an infection. Another important reason is that people pierce their tongue and put an earring there. When people pierce their ears, it grows over time, and this is not a problem. But when the earring is put on the tongue, then there is no possibility that this hole will heal. This hole is open all the time. It is an open wound, where 1 million different bacteria go directly to the inside of the tongue, which should be tightly closed. Making such an opening in the tongue is very foolish. I would say that most 95% of women who have done something like that now have a thyroid problem, because in this case, tongue infections, it penetrates directly into the thyroid gland, because he is very close to the thyroid gland. So I advise you to think about it before you do any hole in your tongue and put an earring there. It is better not to do something like that. People have lived without it thousands of years, and you can live without it now. What else is the cause of the problems? It is food. Nowadays, people are making different diets. They are slimming. But in this way, man does not give to the body what he needs. Earlier, people had practically no thyroid problems. Now it is an artificially created disease. When people use various diets, cause different diseases. I have met a lot of people who feed only on vegetables and juices themselves. But what else? Later they take a lot of tablets, because the body does not get what it needs. People boast that they do not use meat and other things, but instead of meat, they take a lot of pills. And what is better? I think that you have to eat normally, and everything will be fine. We got used to what is the easiest to do, and it is the most pleasant to just take it and everything will be fine. I was visited by friends who received a diagnosis of thyroid problems. And they once used tablets for some time, then they began to use herbs. When they start using pills for thyroid disorders, then it will be difficult to get out of it, because then the thyroid stops working. In my center it happened that people who were told by the doctors that with such results the thyroid gland should be no longer alive. And at the same time, there were no problems in these women and they did not notice any symptoms. Why is this happening? The body sometimes gives high dose of hormones and sometimes it may not be at all. This is how its body works. These are its functions, that is, regulate itself. And we should not disturb him. The body chooses what it needs. So do not hurt yourself. So that he works well. You need the whole body to work properly. We will not know how it all happens, how the hormones are produced, and how they work. But as I told you earlier, the hormones are produced in a fraction of a second. You see, it happens so fast that you will not even notice it. They are produced, used and work because the body functions in this way, and we would like to replace it all in an artificial way. And what will happen next? In future, man functions as if he lived, but is like is dead. He has a lack of energy, lack of will to live, because he has artificially used hormones from women's problems. Do you understand? But for what I'm doing, men live for thousands of years, and the body itself produces all the hormones. I will tell you a very clever thing now. All thyroid problems are untrue, so that the medicine can produce and sell them to you. You can destroy yourself because you take what you do not need. You take what you can produce yourself, what your body should produce itself. You are being deceived and misinformed about the fact that you really need these hormones. If you do not take them, then the organism will start producing them and everything will adjust. And you are taking it in artificial form. I think that few people will understand what I'm talking. And it is so simply. Sometimes there is a problem related to the problems in women. Gynecological issue. You should fight inflammation in the body, not the thyroid. The thyroid is able to repair itself very quickly and adjust all its functions and doing what the body needs. You should give the organism everything to make it function properly. How to do it? This is the topic for the next meeting. What can be done to repair the thyroid? But today we have talked about why this is happening and what you should understand. The next problem is the liver. I repeat to you all the time that without cleansing the liver and its good functioning, there is no possibility for the body to function properly and produce hormones. This is the problem. Viruses, bacteria, fungi, and worms are also caused that thyroid does not function as it should. Mental state of man, because the production of hormones is stopped when a person is under stress. Also the hormones of happiness, having a big influence on all of this. As a man is happy and produces the hormones of happiness, then it is easy to heal if the body is sick. And this is very strongly related to each other. Most people who have thyroid problems also have a problem with stress. They have problem with their psyche, with fatigue. Everything is related to each other. And I would like to advise you to think how to deal with it. During the next meeting, we will also talk about the thyroid. I am asking you to ask me exactly what you would like to know about this subject. And I will try to answer it, so that you can understand it and talk about it, and say it whether you agree with me or not. I want you to think about it, and next time I will answer your questions. And you say, do I'm right about what I'm saying or not? Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you and your whole family a lot of health. Goodbye.